How are all of you doing? So, I had a really good weekend. I'm sure a lot of you did if you live anywhere near me because it was beautiful and sunshine and I was outside doing a lot of stuff and got a little sun. But, there's one thing as I was even seeing a client this morning, frequency is everything. And I live my life by energy. I mean, obviously, energy living. But there's something about it where sometimes when we try to really think about who we are, what we're doing, how things are shifting, our energy doesn't maybe become as apparent to us. So we're living in our life, we're going through things, and we're just like, these certain things keep happening, or I keep having these people in my life, or these situations. And I just want to come here and talk to you and just kind of say, when you focus on energy and you focus on who you truly are, that's where your life starts to shift. And that's what I had to do. I was so caught up in these other people that were in my life, like, my ex-husband. I just remember there were times, and then, I got married again, but I almost felt like the Runaway Bride, if you saw that Julia Roberts movie, where she's sitting there with Richard Gere, and this was such an impactful thing, because I don't remember a lot about movies, but he's like, so how do you like your eggs? And she was just like, oh. And that's who I felt like. Every person I was with, I just liked everything they liked. And I couldn't figure out my own deal. I couldn't figure out what makes Robin happy. And that's what I'm talking about with your frequency and your energy, is that when you come into who you are and what you like, that's when your world starts to change. And I'm not saying that you have to be the dominating, controlling one where it's like all about you. But if you're just always coming into the energy of other people and trying to just like, oh, I'll be this with them, and this chameleon energy, you kind of lose track of who you are. You lose track of what you love, what you desire, and then you start to get frustrated because you're not manifesting your life the way you want to, because you're just recycling the energy of other people or other things or other events. Especially if you found that you relive certain events in your life, like if you had like a divorce, which those could be a lot of stressful, or a situation where it really impacted you and you sit in it, and then you still kind of even blame the other person, or you get mad about what happened, and this could be anything that happened, and you hold anger and frustration and grudge for this person, you're just bringing more anger and frustration back into your life because that's the frequency. And I can feel it in my belly when I'm talking about this. I'm gonna have to clear this out as we go. I just know that frequency is important, and every time I see stuff going in my life, I'm like, okay, what is this resonance for me? What do I need to clear out? What do I need to let go of? Why is this frequency in my vortex right now? Now, I've got to say, sometimes frequencies are from before this lifetime. They can be ancestral things, because you were a little egg inside of your mom who was inside of her grandmother, who that was inside of her grandmother. So you're talking 5 generations of frequency that came through your DNA. So sometimes it's that part of us that we have to like shift, because that's just remnants of other things. But then there's our life choices, and we're like, we continue to notice we're in the vortex of like energy we don't like, but we don't know how to shift it. And I'm going to tell you why. This is why. So you can observe the energy. You can totally observe the energy of what's going on. And then you have to let it go. You have to let it go. You holding that frequency doesn't change shit. It doesn't change anything in your life. All it does is keep manifesting and manifesting and manifesting. So you have to let it go. And this is like my little 4-step process for everything. Then you have to heal it. So you have to say, okay, I'm letting it go. I'm clearing this out. I want to bring healing, divine light, and love in. I want to cleanse myself of that. And then the 4th thing is you have to manifest it different, because you want to know what frequency I want. Like if I'm in a relationship, what do I want in a relationship? And this isn't just about like what you want, but like who do you want to be when you're with other people? Like not only do you want to receive from that person things in certain ways, but you also want to give in certain ways. And this is the frequency of things. I mean, if you've ever read the 5 Love Language book and you're like, oh yeah, I'm a total physical touch person and I'm an acts of service. Like if you do things for me, physical touch, that's great. So you receive love that way. Then when you go to put that out to others and you're giving them that, but let's say they're not a physical touch person, like buy me some gifts and I'm happy. And then you end up having this energy around, well, gifts, that's kind of materialistic. And with these stories we tell each other. And I totally have a gifts child. Like, she loves gifts, and I love buying her gifts because I know it makes her happy. I'm not as much of a gifts person, but it's tuning into the frequency. So when you look at relationships, what is the way you love to give? What's the way you love to receive? When it comes to money, can you receive money? Can you literally, when someone says, hey, thank you, and gives you money, are you like, oh, no, I'm good. Nope, let me just do it for you. Or you're like, oh, thank you, because they just want to give back. And, I have a family member who is amazing at receiving. I'm telling you what, this person gets more people buying her dinner, taking her out, doing things for her, because she's just like, yeah, if they want to do that for me, great. And she just receives it. And the person giving is like, oh, I got to do something for someone, and they feel really good for them about themselves too. Hey, Linda, repetitive injury I call Groundhog Day, the movie, right? It can feel that way because you just recycle it, and you're like, you get up the next day, and if you don't change that, that's where, in one of my modalities I put in my energy living program, I talk about the sleep programming. You got to program that sleep so that when you wake up, right, Linda, that energy shifts because you have this amazing energy team. Like, you have all these guides, you have all these angels and God and source and divine and universal energy, whatever you want to call it. But we all have a connection in with all these things who are able to help us experience a human experience in a way that you can just feel and know and do so much, right? But then we sometimes block it out and we don't come into that. Oh, thanks, Andrew, is agreeing what I'm saying. Yes, it's so important, because if you don't feel into this and you don't say, angels, help me. Angels like to be dispatched. Like, they're waiting. Like, hey, tell me what's up. What do you need? That's like their job. That's what they signed up for. Just like you signed up to be this human on this planet to help grow. Everybody signs up for these things. So you have to say, oh, when I ask the angels for help, they're happy because they're doing their job, and I'm happy because I'm doing my job by incorporating them helping me. So it goes in this cycle. Oh, yeah, Linda, exactly. It does. It goes in this beautiful cycle where this is what's going on for all of us. This is why everything is energy. Everything is frequency. Everything is something you have resonance in. And I find if you don't like what resonance you're in, or you don't like the frequency you're in, or you don't like what's going on, you come right in here. Because when you shift you, all these people around you can't come into that old vibration anymore. They can't come in and be like, oh, I'm going to be angry. Because you're like, I'm not angry at you anymore. How are they going to be angry at you? They can't be angry at you. Well, they can. They can choose to be. But it's real hard for someone to show you a frequency that you can't give them resonance with anymore. This is so important. It's just, I don't know, it's so important. I wanted to share it with you guys today because this is how I live my life. I live it energetically. I always am tapping in. I mean, not every decision, but most decisions I make, I'm just like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? And I hear yes, no, yes, no. I'm like, should I do this? And I just walk around all day being an energy, like vibration of seeing what I need. And I want to share with you because when you live your life from an energy aspect, your physical world changes. Your physical health changes. Your physical material world around you, your home changes. The dynamic of your relationships change. Your health changes. I mean, they can't change, though, if you're stuck in this old energy that's just replicating. Like other things can't. Hey, Renee. Oh, thank you. It's so nice to see you. Well, I can see you too, but like I can't see you. Yeah, I took a little reprieve, I kind of really, I listened to what my energy said. That's what I'm kind of talking about. I listened to my energy, and my energy was like, Robin, like, it was it was a rough year last year, as it has been for everybody. But there is lots of aspects of me that I just wanted to make sure as I was coming into the world, and I'm out here and I'm sharing all these great downloads I'm getting and these courses that I've created behind the scenes and all this stuff that you guys know. I took the time to listen to my energy as well. And then I can share this so authentically with you and be myself, because I'm telling you what, I don't always show my funny side and laugh and goof off, or my cousin side where I say fuck, and I do. I mean, I totally am a whole circle of things, and that's where it's just like when you just can be you, that's where your peace comes and your joy and your freedom. and your love and all of those things. But yeah, I just had a conversation with a person about taking time away lately. Yeah, I had to too. And I got out and worked my land like this past weekend. I went out, worked the land some more. We're doing a lot of work out there with the animals and just like getting a fence in and moving in the trees. And when I'm out there and I'm in the earth and I'm touching it, I feel so grounded. It's so funny. I'll never forget my daughter telling me one time, she's like, Mom, you would totally have like a crown sitting on your desk and have work mud boots on. Like right now, even I have sweatpants on, right? Because I love to be grounded in the earth, right? But also to feel spirit. Like last night when I'm out there and I'm in my circle of trees and I've got these big rocks I put in there and there's this vortex of energy. It's amazing. And then as I was coming in, it was dark and I remember looking up and I'm like, is that Mars? And it wasn't Mars. It's an interesting little thing that's out there. But I'm staying in the energy of their presence because this physical world is so beautiful. And the beauty is where I feel love. And that was a beautiful other thing about frequency. I would get so hung up with the people saying, you don't have enough self-love. You need to love yourself more. And that was a hard thing for me to understand until I was listening to this. It was like a YouTube video. It was a doctor and he was talking about COVID and all that stuff. But he said something about what it is that when you see beauty, that's how you experience love. Oh my goodness, I'm sharing this because it changed my life. Because when I'm out and like this morning, I took a cute little video with my horses and that beauty, that is love. When I'm seeing the birds, that beauty is love. That's how I understand love for me, is seeing the beauty in things. Or like, we had a fun little Easter egg hunt with the grandbabies and and they're running around and they're so happy and excited, and that beauty of them, that's love. That's the frequency. So for me, love and beauty have a similar frequency where I could understand it and knew that I could see that I saw it all along. I just had a blinder on thinking self-love was the word I had to understand, but I'm going to for me, that was bullshit. For me. For you, it can be whatever. But for me, I had to see it in a way that I could understand it. Where like when people say the word joy, I don't resonate with the word joy as much. But beauty, yeah, and it might be something to do with my Venus being in my 4th house of Taurus. But who knows, right? Who knows? Definitely exploring all this with you today. I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to kind of keep this short because I know, you know me, I don't like to go too long in videos because I get, ADD and I'm out of there. Like I need constant stimulation when I'm watching something. So I hope you're all doing well. I want to share this with you all, that just be in the vibration and the frequency of who you are. Live from that energy and know that I'm thinking of all you, and thanks for popping in. And I will see you all again real soon. Take care.